But still in politics, taking a look at page 5 of the Standard this morning, Jubilee to swap county officials presiding over party nominations. Now, President Uhuru Kenyatta says Jubilee Party will swap party officials presiding over the nominations in the counties to ensure free and transparent nominations and to ensure that all aspirants do not feel disadvantaged. And this is a new directive here by the Jubilee Party. And so during the party primaries, what could happen is that Jubilee officials in Samburu County could be sent to Kwale County and vice versa. And Uhuru also says the process of getting ID cards will be made easier so that all those of legal age can be able to register as voters. And he also talks about the emerging drought situation in the country, saying the government will buy livestock which will be slaughtered for local consumption by hunger-stricken families. All right, and let's take a look at page 6 now, away from Kenyan politics, and that is the story of the kleptocrat, as is described by the Standard this morning. On page 6 of the Standard, looting to the end, the fall of Yahya Jammeh. The story begins on the front page. Yahya Jammeh, just to bring you up to date, was the president of the Gambia for 22 years and was forced into exile this past Saturday by a regional military force as well as international pressure after clinging to power following a defeat by now Gambian President Adama Barrow, who was sworn in as president in the neighboring nation of Senegal after Yahya Jammeh refused to step down. Now, as it stands, Yahya Jammeh looted 1.1 billion shillings over the period of 2 weeks where he clung to power after being defeated in the elections. This despite being in power for 22 years. Despite having been in power for more than 2 decades, he could not resist the temptation to put his hands in the till one more time before he fled, looting 1.1 billion shillings using the current exchange rates. That's about that's about $11 million in the dollar currency. And he also flew out of the country valuable goods that included an unknown number of luxury cars when he was being flown out of the country into exile in Guinea-Bissau. And remember, he was trounced by Adama Barrow in an election which was held in December last year. He had initially accepted defeat, but then changed his mind shortly after. But of course, we've seen the situation there get better. A lot of Gambians now coming back to the country. But I remember Gambia is a rather small country with a population of about 1.9 million people, and the GDP there about 100 billion shillings. Kenya's, comparatively, Kenya's GDP there is about 60 times bigger than that. And so, an emerging situation there. We'll be taking a look at what